Your morning blitz begins now.
All right. You ready for a hot one? Water your pets and old people. It's going to be hot out there. 95 today.
Woo.
95 every day this week.
Toasty.
Every day. We'll get a break on Sunday. It'll be 90.
Oh. Well, shoot. Well, you sleep with the windows open then. Turn the AC off.
Jeez.
No need for that anymore. Have you guys noticed that it seems to be getting hotter earlier in the summers than it ever used to be? Because you used to be able to count on, like, July, August to be in the 90s, but now we're starting to see, like, June. Like, there was a day a couple weeks ago when it was almost 90.
Did you walk uphill both ways to school?
Yeah, in the snow.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I see
Just even in the spring.
it varies there's been, I can remember Junes where it was ridiculously hot.
Yeah.
And I can remember Junes where it was in the 70s. I can remember 70-degree days in July. And, I mean, yeah, it's summer.
Okay.
You know? It varies every year.
I feel like the last couple of years I've noticed it got hotter in June. And typically that used to be something for later in the summer.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind the hot. Don't get me wrong. But I just noticed they talk about climate change and everything.
It's summer. I mean, I do not remember super hot summers and cool summers, and
I do not pretend to be a meteorologist or understand the weather patterns of the world.
Yeah. Here's a real tragedy. 3/4 of Americans can't find a good hairdresser.
Can you?
Yeah. Yeah. I do the razor cut. You know, a number 2 and a number 4. It's 5 minutes, I'm out the door. They love me.
You cut your own hair?
No, when I go in.
Oh, okay.
I go to Holiday Hair. Used to be called Saturdays. Now they call it Holiday. I don't know what that is about.
Well,
I guess
holiday.
To look like you have, like, I'm ready for a holiday party. Is that what that Holiday Hair? I'm guessing that's what that means.
Yeah, I don't know. Never heard of it.
Kel, do you
you really never heard of that?
Do you have a specific person that you
I do. Her name's Maria. She's at Studio Elements in New Albany. I absolutely love her. Both Charlie and I both go to her. We love her. She's great.
Do you, how often do you, I'm just curious. I'm asking this because I know it varies for different people. How often do you as a woman get your hair cut?
Well, I don't color my hair, so I don't need to go that regularly, and I have longer hair. So I go, I'm going to say 2 times a year to get my hair cut up to shoulder length, and then I just let it grow until I hate it, and then I get it cut again.
Twice a year?
About twice a year.
That's why I'm asking, because
Sounds like
that's
Heather.
the way Lauren is. Lauren doesn't go very often
Maybe
either.
3 times a year.
Okay.
It's a low number.
Yeah,
of times.
that's the same way with my wife, and she's got the thickest hair in the world, man. She walks in the door, and they all run and hide.
And I feel
it's
like
going to take an hour to cut her hair.
I feel like the younger girl goes more frequently, but Lauren never has done a ton of haircuts a year. That's why I was just curious straight up curiosity.
Yeah, and it's just basically a straight across cut. I haven't changed my hairstyle in so many years.
But if it works for you, that's an interesting question. Do you have to? Because I think it's different for guys than it is girls. Like a guy, you can tell when a guy has an outdated hairstyle. But for females, I think it's a little different. Now, if you're still rocking the Rachel from the 90s, okay, maybe that ship has sailed. But for the most part, you know.
Yeah, I probably could be a lot cooler with my haircut, but the thing that I don't like, so natural, all natural hair color, but I straighten. I use the flat iron on my hair every single day, so my hair must be fried over that. I wish I could just go natural but it's just really frizzy and undefined curls, and it's ugly. So I just flatten the crap out of it every day. So I'm sure I'm not doing myself any favors, but
I've seen you with some big hair.
If I could, and that's my natural.
Yeah.
It's just big, frizzy, curly, out there. So if I could get that tamed in some way to look decent, I would love that. But anyway, what about you, Lewis? You,
depends what I have going on. Like, I'm 5 minutes away just from shaving my head again.
You and I both, brother.
Because it was easier.
Yeah.
Like, Zizi would hate me for saying that. She's like, I can't wait till your hair grows back in. I'm like,
Zizi, our photographer. She likes you better with hair, huh?
Yeah, but I'm like, there's something about, like, not having any hair that you have to deal with.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I would love that.
You talk about hairstyle. I'm like, I wish I had any hairstyle. I don't have enough hair to have a hairstyle.
If I had the bone structure of Demi Moore, buddy. G.I. Jane.
You'd cut would you?
Buzz that bad boy right off. Yep.
The short hair? Go all the way short?
I can't do
Crew
it.
cut.
I just don't have the bone structure and the whatever. It doesn't work on me. I've had short hair before. It just doesn't work. But I understand the just absolute joy of not having to deal with hair.
That makes sense. I think it's definitely something that females find more challenging than males do.
Oh, for sure.
And the guys have the benefit of, I'll just put a hat on.
I mean, when we asked the question a while back, if you woke up tomorrow morning as the opposite sex, what's the first thing you would do? Like half the women in the audience said, shave my head. They would shave their head.
Not me. I would take out my breasts and juggle them. But that's just me.
Bill texted in and Kelly walks in with a beehive. I haven't changed my hair in years.
So we got a date for Christmas in July. Our toy drive will be Friday, July 26th.
Awesome.
Brought to you by Buckeye City Motorsports, powered by Logan AC and Heat Services and Window Nation. And we'll have more details on that coming up this morning. We've also got tickets to see STP with Soul Asylum at the Ohio State Fair. And these tickets are in the first 5 rows. So if you ever wanted to be up close, you never had that opportunity, here's your chance to be in the first 5 rows for a concert. And we'll give away a different row every day in the first 5 this week. Let's get to Morning Blitz trivia. Old game show, Hollywood Squares. You guys may remember.
Circle gets the square.
Circle gets the square. Coming back. Making a comeback on CBS. And I want to know who the host is. Who's going to be the host of the new Hollywood Squares? Be the first one to tell us at 99-700. Get yourself $25 to waterbeds and stuff.
Every time I hear Kid Rock, I feel like we should all get together and go get kicked out of a Waffle House. But that's just me.
Sounds fun, though.
Yeah,
Get kicked out of Waffle House?
Absolutely. Scattered, covered, chunked, and thrown out the front door. 6:23, it's the Morning Blitz with Thick, Kelly, and Lewis.
Jeez. All right, our Morning Blitz trivia question. Hollywood Squares is coming back on CBS. And who will be the host? Do either of you know?
Do not.
Lewis.
I have no clue because I have probably seen one episode of Hollywood Squares in my life, and that was only to figure out why people always said circle gets a square when you got something right.
Last week we were talking about how we feel like Ryan Seacrest is the new Dick Clark, and you weren't having it. You're not a fan of Ryan Seacrest.
Nope, sure I'm not.
This guy could also be becoming that guy, because he has really jumped up in the world of broadcasting over the past few years. I hate it, too, because I loved him so much on Good Morning Football. And he's a former NFL player, and he was great on the show, and now he's on CBS Mornings. Guy by the name of Nate Burleson.
He's also on CBS's Game Day.
Yes.
NFL Game Day.
Yeah, I mean,
I like Burleson.
I think he's awesome.
Burleson's great.
He's all over CBS now. I mean, he's involved in everything. And so now he's going to host the new Hollywood Squares. There is a downside to this. And we had a couple guesses of this person. She is not going to be the host, but she is going to be the center square. And that would be one Drew Barrymore.
Oh, for the love of God,
I know,
no.
right? I know.
Her and Ross, you know what? Her, Ross Matthews, the Kardashians, Seacrest in the same van when it goes over the cliff. Please.
I thought we canceled Drew when she was a scab. Did we?
We should have.
I guess that didn't stick. It didn't hold.
You know what? Drew Barrymore was in one of my all-time favorite movies from the 90s called Mad Love with a young Chris O'Donnell. It's a great movie. Grungy, Seattle. She's got some mental issues. Good story. And then something happened. Now she wears, Kohl's business suits on the air. She wants Mamala to give the whole country a hug.
Mamala.
Just stop, Drew. Go away. Please. I know. There's some 50-year-old woman that loves the Drew Barrymore show. Clearly, she is not making television for me.
Jeez.
In fact, Drew could do an anniversary edition of Playboy, and I still wouldn't buy it.
Oh. I mean, I liked her in Firestarter. That was about it.
What was that, 50 years ago?
Yeah. Oh, and wasn't she in E.T., too, right? Yeah, E.T. Okay. Yeah, a long time ago.
I mean, the wedding singer, you can't hate Drew Barrymore in The Wedding Singer. She was great. And
I don't know.
She
wasn't.
wasn't
Remember if I
yes.
saw that movie?
Yes, The Wedding Singer. She was great.
I love that movie.
Great. I won't.
Oh gosh,
yes.
that's a must see if it's on TV.
That and what was the 50 First Dates? Was that where she lost her memory?
Yeah.
That's where the last 2 movies she did that was good.
Okay.
What? You didn't like her in Charlie's Angels?
No. No, I did not.
So this new Hollywood Squares will air on Wednesdays following The Price is Right at night and Raid the Cage. Now, is that still Drew Carey doing The Price is Right at night? Does he host that at night?
Does he? I don't know.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Well,
And what is Raid the Cage?
I don't know, but I know the writer's strike caused a lot of game shows to pop up because they were looking for something to fill voids, which is why you've got further editions of Celebrity Family Feuds that had very few celebrities on it. And you had to Google whoever the contestants are on Celebrity Wheel of Fortune because you're just not sure.
All right. Yeah. That'll start in January, if anybody cares.
Okay.
But I do like Nate.
I like Nate
a lot.
Burleson.
Speaking of things from the past, if you need a Mr. Rogers neighborhood fix, Pluto will be running Mr. Rogers 24/7.
What is Pluto?
Pluto TV.
Okay, is that something you get for free?
It is a free streaming service, yes.
Nice.
Dude, I feel like Mr. Rogers sits at the right hand of Satan. There ain't something was never right about that guy. Come on
Mr.
in.
Rogers,
Oh, yeah.
you get out of here right now. You get up and get out of here. Mr. Rogers was the best. I grew up with Mr. Rogers. He helped make me who I am today. That doesn't make a very good case for Mr. Rogers. I heard that coming out of my mouth. But
Lewis, I'm going to have to leave with you, I think.
Something about that dude. Come on in.
Do you know how many?
Let me get my
you
cardigan
can't
on.
watch him as an adult and make a judgment. You have to watch him as a kid
Yeah.
and make a judgment.
Satan
He's
and
just
Rogers
like-
were fist bumping.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Kelly. That is a very valid point. Yeah. It only matters as a kid.
Yeah.
Did you take a guess how many episodes of Mr. Rogers there were?
347.
All right, there's a guess.
100.
912.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we were so close.
912 episodes. And they're going to run
You know why?
24/7 on Pluto TV.
Because they knew what would happen with Satan if they canceled him. So he was allowed. Black Veil Brides on your morning blitz, 6:39. I'm Lewis. That's Dick Rick. She is Kelly Quinn. And here we are on a Monday.
You guys seriously mad that I killed a spider?
Yeah. I hate... At my house, they do it all the time, and it drives me crazy. Spiders protect you from other bugs.
Yeah, I try not to kill them.
I do too.
Unless,
But what-
listen, if it's really ugly and inside, it freaks me out to let it go because I'm just imagining it crawling across my face at night. But I try to just put them outside.
Really?
Put them outside again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spiders
They're
kill
really good.
flies
Yeah, I know.
and every other form of
I know.
bug that it would infest your house.
They don't get the flies that come in my house.
There's a reason Spider-Man is a superhero.
You know why they don't get the flies? Because you're busy killing all the
Right.
spiders in your house.
No.
Like that one. Dude wakes up, morning workout, getting a little web work in, and all of a sudden here comes Thick Rick with a paper towel.
He's trying to make a web on my microphone.
Oh, he was doing some aerobics.
Before you killed it, we said, no, take it outside.
Yeah,
and
what'd you
instead
do?
You just went
Take it.
right
What'd you
in
do?
and smashed
Spider
it.
out.
Right in for the kill.
Outside.
Right
Yeah,
in for the kill.
That's right.
Poor thing.
I hope you're on the treadmill one day and somebody comes by and clubs you so you see how that feels.
I didn't club him. I smashed him in a tissue.
Work. Fine. I hope
He
somebody
doesn't even
smashes
remember
you with
now.
a
He has
tissue.
no idea what happened. He's all good.
Not the way he saw his day going.
You think that's really a good life anyway?
Yeah.
You got to spend all day, like several days, constructing this web just so that
thing's
you can
built for.
Right.
capture
You trying to
friggin'
take
bugs
away its
that you then have
happiness?
to wrap up so that you can then
Yeah,
eat
There-
raw bugs. You think
No.
that's a good life?
I think it's a great life
It
for a
is.
spider. It's what
Really?
it was created to do.
He's got a short lifespan anyway. He's probably like, all right, I'm on day 24 of 97 days of web work, and I get offed on the 24th day. Yeah, you cut his lifespan short.
Yep.
What if it was a she, and she's got babies sitting around in here someplace that now don't have a mom?
Oh my gosh, you've just made it 10 times worse. I'm not going to forget this all day now.
See?
Then they'll die too. That's great.
Oh.
don't know you.
All right. This rich guy in England is suing Apple after his wife found a bunch of text messages that he had sent to hookers.
That never goes well.
Yeah, so they're divorced now, obviously. He says he turned to prostitutes in the last few years of their marriage, and he would text them using the iPhone texting app iMessage. But he was always careful to delete the messages so his wife would not see them. Unfortunately for him, he only deleted them from his phone, and she eventually found them on the iMac desktop computer they shared.
Oh, boo-hoo. A cheater was found out.
Yeah.
This is why you can't go with Mac.
No, that's why you go with Mac.
She filed for divorce less than a month later and took him for every penny, and now he is suing Apple to recover that money. He thinks Apple should have to cover what he lost in the divorce as well as his legal bills. The grand total of everything was a little over $6 million. He claims he and his wife were very happily married for over 20 years, calling it a superb marriage. And he says if she'd found out he was cheating some other way, they might have worked through it. But seeing the text was just too brutal of a way to find out, so she could not forgive him. His lawyers are even trying to make it into a class action lawsuit if other men come forward and say the same thing happened to them.
So what happened? They were recovered on the computer, but not on his phone?
Yeah. He's using this iPhone texting app. It's called iMessage.
No, it's not. Yeah, basically, it's how you communicate between iPhones.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
It's not like something you have to specially download.
Apparently, when you text on this, if you have an iMac that is connected to your phones,
Yeah,
I guess, then the texts are available on the iMac as well.
Yeah.
So when he deleted them from his phone, they were not deleted from the iMac.
Oh, oops. I guess you should have thought of that, buddy. I don't feel like that's Apple's fault. It's pretty well known that everything, especially, and you have to allow everything to connect. You have to say yes. So in essence, he said yes to all his phone and his iMac connecting. Mm-hmm. You get what you get, pal.
Yeah.
Sorry, you lost everything. I guess you shouldn't be texting hookers on your phone.
Joe said, so many women and men right now scrambling to look at their MacBook just to check
right?
this. Exactly. Here's my thing. You've heard the story. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Yeah. Well, to all my players out there, let me just tell you, technology has changed the game, and you got to get hip to that. You got to make sure that boner.
What?
You got to make sure that burner phone, or in some cases, boner phone, is a Galaxy or Droid-based operation that you've got going on there. Sometimes it just fits.
Jeez.
I mean, technically it is a boner phone in this case.
I don't understand. I mean, what does he want from Apple? What were they supposed to do? How are they responsible for this in any way? They're not. He's just pissed.
You know, it's kind of funny.
That's all it is. He's bitter, and he wants somebody to. He's going to lose, and he's going to lose more money.
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, right?
Yeah.
We all accept that,
Yeah.
and that is evident on our text wall. Because on our text wall, all the guys are like, "Damn, dude, I'm sorry. you should have done something." All the women, serves his cheating ass right.
Well,
that's what you get.
That's about what I would expect.
Like, you have an iPad thick, but you use Android phone. So
Yeah.
if you had an iPhone, it would ask you, do you want to connect
Yes.
your iPhone and your iPad? And you'd have to say yes or no.
Yeah,
All right.
and then you can only have so many devices. You have to go in and authorize however many devices you can have. You got to be, you got to be hip to that.
Got to be on it.
All right.
Especially if you're playing the game. Don't leave stuff laying around. I'm telling you.
What's the game?
No, I'm serious. I fell down a text rabbit hole for the sole purpose that I had to temporarily borrow an iPhone from somebody else. And when I signed in, an entire encyclopedia worth of messages that I didn't want to read, I found myself reading. And it changes things. So the game hath changed.
All right. Going back to the spiders. Doug says there's a video where they smacked a spider and it had a bunch of babies in it, and they all came running out when they smacked
Yeah,
it.
oh yeah.
Let's see. Goose said spiders. Spiders kill hellspawn mosquitoes. Spiders are my friends. Hell spawn mosquitoes.
Yep.
All right.
Telling you. Now we're all going to get eaten alive. If I get my first bug bite, I'm blaming you. That spider was keeping us safe in here. Vanessa said, good for her for catching him, but on his end, he probably thought because, like Kelly said, he has to say yes to the Mac connecting to his phone. So he probably thought that since they were connected, and if he deleted it, it would have also deleted it off the other.
I see that. I guess I can see it. It will be interesting to see what happens here, because I would think that too. I think if I deleted it off my phone, it would delete off my iPad or my Mac.
Can you hold a technology company responsible if your wife finds out you did something wrong, though? That's kind of like...
Yeah.
That's kind of like trying to sue Budweiser because you drank too much.
I don't think there's a court in the world that's going to side with this guy and make Apple pay him $6 million.
Did your Mac reveal your side action to the world? We'll make sure they never download anything again. warforyou.com. Your Morning Blitz. It is 6:51. Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn, I'm Lewis. There's Saliva, and Vanessa said, as we're wrapping up the cheating thing, my boyfriend and his ex broke up. She left her Apple Watch at the house, and because it was connected to the Wi-Fi, was able to see every text that she was receiving and sending. So he was literally reading them as they were sending them to each other. Wow. That's got to sting.
Jeez. What is this? Taylor said moving spiders outside kills them.
I never heard that before.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Is that true?
Didn't they come from the outside and find their way in?
Not necessarily. I don't know.
We have domestic spiders and like cats? Outdoor and indoor?
I honestly have no clue. I don't know.
I feel like there's somebody's office in here we could have moved it to.
Yeah.
Who do we choose?
Somebody's office.
John Boy.
Is he a spider lover?
His booming voice would take care of the problem.
Right.
Get back on that web.
God, he does, boy. He got a big, deep voice. So we have seen the Tyson-Paul fight postponed, and now the Conor McGregor-Chandler fight, Michael Chandler fight, has been postponed. Shock! Like, man, really? It was supposed to happen June 29th, like a week from Saturday. We were going to be at the new DraftKings Sports Social Bar for the fight.
That's what bummed me out more than anything else.
That place is awesome.
We had all kinds of cool stuff planned that, well, will have to be postponed.
Yeah. So they'll have to... I guess they've already got a new UFC 303 headliner.
They had to.
Yeah. Heavyweight championship rematch. Light heavyweight. Alex Pereira and... I don't know how to say this guy's name. Jiri. That's his first name. We'll just go with Jiri and Alex. But McGregor released a statement on Instagram. He said, very tough to be ruled out of my scheduled return bout. I picked up an injury prior to the press conference that required more time to heal than was available. This decision to postpone the fight was not made lightly, but one made in consultation with my doctors, the UFC, and my team. My fans and opponent deserve me at my best for this fight, and we will get there. Thank you for your support. I'm in good spirits and confident I'll be back. What's the injury?
He hasn't said, and that's what drives me crazy. But I expected this.
Yeah.
Conor doesn't need to fight, and if Conor loses, I think win or lose, Conor's done.
Well, but he doesn't need to fight, so what difference does it make?
And that's why I think he keeps pushing and pushing and pushing.
But why?
I don't
What's
know.
The point? Because you're not gaining anything.
Because I think if he hasn't lost this fight yet, he can still be Conor and brag. He loses again, it's going to be 3 straight losses.
He can be Conor and brag whether he wins, loses, or doesn't fight. That's the thing. I mean, you know, in his prime, he's an amazing fighter. He made over $100 million off the Mayweather fight. I mean, he doesn't have, he's got a very successful bourbon, or whatever it is.
Is it? I think it's Irish whiskey, isn't it?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Irish whiskey. Yeah. So, I mean,
Proper.
That's it. Proper 12.
Proper 12.
Yeah. So he doesn't have to fight. He doesn't have to win. Doesn't matter if he loses a fight. I don't think it's going to change anything. So I think he wants to fight, and I think he wants to win. But I don't know. I just wish he'd have told us what the injury was. So
It'd be a lot easier if you knew what the injury was.
We'll find out what the new date is, and hopefully we'll still be down at DraftKings. And that'll be a great time.
Ooh, check out the size of the spider that Chad sent us from Hocking Hills.
Oh, what is this thing?
That dude's large in his
Yeah,
yard.
you going to pick that up and carry that outside,
That
Kelly?
thing looks like it's got, what is it, attached to something? Or is that like full of babies, that sack underneath it?
Oh, yeah, I think that's a sack. I do. I think that's what that is.
He should get that checked
You
out.
going to pick that up and carry that outside?
I put a glass over it and then put paper under it, and then that's what we do in our house.
I love it.
Now, all right, I'm listening. 3 things you need to know before you go.
Remember last Friday when we talked about that 38-year-old Lancaster man, Quintel Bagley, accused of kidnapping a woman in Grove City Thursday morning, driving her back down toward Lancaster. He was arrested a few hours later and then escaped Grove City police officers. They still have not found this guy, as far as I can tell. I've been looking everywhere to see any kind of update. No update on this. Quintel Bagley described as dangerous, a convicted sex offender with an extensive criminal history. All right, they're junking up our beautiful Licking County with lots more data centers in the village of Hebron. That village has signed a deal. There must be an enormous amount of money in this because I cannot impart to you how ugly these things are if you live among them. It's really disheartening because Licking County is quite beautiful. A lot of Licking County is gorgeous. And Hebron included. But Hebron has signed a deal with Microsoft to build up to 6 data centers on 200 acres west of Route 79. The total amount invested by Microsoft will be about $3 billion. Oh, there we go. The first centers are expected to be operational by 2026. Of course, there's been a huge boom in data centers all across central Ohio. Microsoft being joined by Google, Amazon, Facebook, etc., and so forth. All right, as we await the impending sale of recreational marijuana in Ohio, it should be coming any day now. There is an interesting investigation the LA Times did into the quality of recreational weed on dispensary shelves in California. Now, it is promoted as safe, as tested, and regulated by the state of California to protect consumers. However, in an investigation, the LA Times found alarming levels of pesticides and cannabis products available on dispensary shelves, including some of the most popular brands of vapes and pre-rolled weed. Now, what they did is purchased a bunch of legal weed and then had them tested at private labs. The test showed concentrations of pesticides either above levels the state allows or at levels that exceed federal standards for tobacco. The contaminants include chemicals tied to cancer, liver failure, thyroid disease, and genetic and neurologic harm to users and their unborn children. Now, vapes are hugely popular amongst many people, but especially young people who believe that it's a healthier alternative to smoking or drinking, etc. So there's a huge demand for bulk oils, which are made from lower quality cannabis. And the demand for recreational weed and medicinal is so huge that people growing, the approved growers, are having to do it at such high rates. They're just throwing just tons and tons of weed killer, etc. on this stuff so they can protect it because it is a freaking high value plant. And the big problem, and let me just say this, and if you can read this article, it's mind-blowing. But the state's requirements for weed testing have not been updated in 6 years. So the chemicals that are currently being used in cultivation aren't even included in this list that they're looking for. So some of these growers are using smuggled pesticides that are so toxic that law enforcement officers who encounter them have to put on respirators, number one. Number two, they have to take blood poisoning tests afterwards.
Oh, geez.
That's how wild these pesticides are that they're using right now in California so that they can grow the amount of weed needed for the demand. So it's wild out there, folks. And, you know, I don't know what'll happen here in Ohio, and I know they want it will be regulated, but at some point you got to make sure your list of contaminants and pesticides are updated to what people are actually using.
I guess I'm not surprised at this.
What are we going to see in the future in terms of health problems, in terms of childbirth issues? I mean, issues with the, newborn children.
How much are they testing all our fruits and vegetables? You know?
I don't know.
I mean...
Yeah, but don't write it off. I mean, this is something new that's coming in.
I'm saying, I think it's just more.
Yeah, it's more that people will be adding to their bodies.
Well,
it's just...
My plants are now 3 feet tall and they are pesticide free.
Right. I feel like, that's probably if you're, the way to go
Yep.
is just to control it yourself rather than count on the state to control it.
So you're spending a little less than what they are in California to smoke weed every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When are yours? What do you call them? Ripe? When will they be ripe
They
for
ripe?
harvesting? What do you call it? What do you call it?
That is some ripe cannabis you've got there.
I should be all done by the end of summer.
What do you call it? And then you harvest it?
Yeah. What's your...
Yeah, then you hang them upside down for a week and let
Dry
them
it
dry,
out.
and then you pull the buds off. And
Yeah.
What are you going to call your brand?
it has a name, but I don't remember what it is.
No. Well, that's bad marketing.
Well, I mean, yeah, my friend that gave them to me, he told me, and I just don't remember. I'll have to find out. And
You
let
need
you
to come
know.
up with a good name.
I know it's sativa.
Thick Rick's Bass Grass.
Hey,
love it.
there you go. All right, those are your three things.
Trademark that. I prevail. Breaking down the Morning Blitz. 7-Eleven with Vic Kelly and Lewis.
Everybody's trying to name Thick's
weed.
weed. We've got Rickroll weed from Goose. We've got Sketcherman weed from Popcorn Pam.
Just the straight up the thick strain. Oh, Sticky Thicky.
Sticky Thicky.
That's
That's
it.
a good one.
That's it right there. Jeez.
I mean, yeah, you do want your weed to have alternate meanings.
Yeah.
Because Sticky Thicky could mean weed. Sticky Thicky could mean also Rick after a hot day of mowing the lawn.
That was yesterday.
And then we have Nikki and Amanda who can't get past you accidentally saying boner phone instead of burner phone, Lewis.
Some things just fit,
Especially when you're talking about talking to hookers.
right?
So Ozempic, and you might end up with a hooker from this. Ozempic and
What?
Wegovy treatments. Now, let me explain. Causing an unusual side effect: impulsive behavior. All right. Experts from London suspect that the weight loss injections change dopamine levels in the brain, which lead to impulse control disorder, specifically gambling and risque sex.
That's what happens when you let the whores come to town.
The potential associations we have come across have mainly related to changing personal relationships, divorce, splitting up from what seemed to be a stable relationship. This is Professor Raymond Playford of the University of West London saying all this stuff. So people are just, it's causing people to be impulsive.
Are people
do crazy stuff?
Are people attacking Ozempic because it seems to work? And I'm asking because there are a lot of people who are on Ozempic. Some people for
Diabetes, stuff like that.
Others as a weight loss drug, it seems to be working.
Yeah, but I think when you jam drugs into your body, you're going to pay for it somewhere else. It helps you in one area, but
Sure.
Typically, for any prescription drug or whatever, you do pay for it in some way, physically, psychologically, etc.
Well, but look at whenever you see a drug ad on TV for whatever it is, it might be like, an antacid could cause termination, paralyzation, and death.
Right.
Suicidal thoughts and
Right.
tendencies. I mean, you always see the
All of
laundry
them.
list.
I think they all have to cover their ass.
Well, not only that, I don't know if you've ever been on prescription drugs, but people do feel side effects from them.
Yeah.
Very regularly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Drugs, man.
I will say, when it comes to my testosterone injections, I inject every Sunday. I notice by Friday night, I feel a little bit different because I'm lower.
Looking for risque sex?
Yeah. Every Friday.
On your boner phone?
On my boner phone.
I mean, they're drugs. Of
but
course they're going to make you feel things.
I'm just saying I noticed the difference. Not a ton, but I definitely can tell when I'm towards the end of one cycle and needing another. Needing is the wrong word to use, but because I'm not like... What you got?
Well, the only thing I really hear about Ozempic, as far as, when you talk about people coming down on it, is people spend all this money to use it, and it works, and they lose weight, and then as soon as they get down to where they want, and they stop using it, they gain the weight right back. So it's like, do you have to stay on it for life and spend that money on Ozempic for life to stay thin? Because I don't think that's how it's supposed to work.
Stephanie says, you know what else works great for weight loss? a gym. It's not a drug. It's called a gym. It's called exercise and lifting weights. I've lost over 150 pounds with minimal changes to my diet, just changing my activity level. And I agree with you 100%, but there are those people that cannot.
All right, but that's a very small percentage of people. All right,
but
we
they
need to
still
stop
exist.
with that. Yes, I know, and those people have an excuse. That's fine. But the majority of people who are overweight don't have that excuse. So let's stop that, please. Come on, guys.
But it's factual.
It's factual for a small percentage of people. We're not talking about them.
Sure, but I'm saying that small percentage of people might need something like Ozempic.
Okay, that's why they get it.
No, I'm not saying...
But that's not the majority of people doing it.
Well, but I'm not saying... We're not talking about just the lazy people that are sitting on the couch putting down a large Papa John's hoping an Ozempic's going to change their life. I'm not talking about them. I'm just saying there are real people who do go to the gym and do work out and cannot get past it. You cannot say that isn't a factor for some people because it is. I would like to. Okay, is this diagnosed by a doctor or is this what they're saying?
Just speak to your own stuff and don't dismiss other people's experiences. That's what that's really how you have to come down on it. It's like other people have experiences that you don't know anything about. And so if they need to use Ozempic, that's their free choice to use it.
Okay. I was just telling you it causes people to go out and have sex with other strange people. That's all I was saying.
I'm in the middle of messaging my doctor for an Ozempic prescription. Van Halen, pre-Hagar, 7:27 with the Morning Blitz. Thick, Kelly, and Lewis. Morning.
Morning.
So have you seen the 24-year-old cheerleader, you guys?
Belichick's girlfriend?
72-year-old Bill Belichick and his 24-year-old cheerleader girlfriend.
I'm sure it's just true love and there's no money or financial gain on her end at all. She just wants that grandfather figure that you can't just find anywhere.
You saw the Tom Brady roast, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Gronk made a comment when he was up doing the roast, because they roast everybody when they're up there.
Right.
And he made a comment about Belichick, and at the time, nobody knew, so I didn't really understand it, but this is what Gronk said at the roast.
Coach, you used to talk about Foxborough High School when we sucked, but now I know why you were so obsessed with Foxborough High School. You were scouting your new girlfriend.
And I'm like, nobody knew, so I'm like, what's he talking about? Now I know.
That's a little creepy, though. There's a difference between dating a legal 24-year-old girl and scouting high school chicks hoping that they're going to eventually turn 18. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference.
What could you possibly have in common, a 72-year-old with a 24-year-old? What could you possibly have in common?
Hallmark movies?
I mean, money. The need for... one has money and the other wants money.
Kelly,
That's the only thing.
Love. There's nothing to do with money.
Like experience, travel, having a good time, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
She wants to have a great time. He wants to have a great time. So they really connect on that desire. Other than that, I mean.
By the way, they met 3 years ago.
So she was 21.
Yes, on a flight from Boston to Florida. Her name is Jordan Hudson, and she used to be a competitive cheerleader.
But the thing is, like, whatever. Go have a good time. I mean, you're both consenting adults, and it sounds like you both want to hang out and spend his money, so have a great time.
She's very cute.
She's beautiful.
Well, he's got time to put into her now because he's not coaching. I'm not sure that was the best phrasing there.
His kids are all late 30s to 40. Like, how do you even hang out with your dad and his girlfriend if you're one of his kids? I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, man. There's no way I could do it.
No? Yeah, but I mean, Steve, Bill knows a good tight end when he sees one. On your morning blitz, 7:39. It's Kelly Quinn. I'm Lewis. He's Thick Rick. Good morning. Father's Day was yesterday.
Yeah.
A lot of dads. It was their day. Some dads hope they just got left alone like they truly, really wanted, but maybe didn't have the courage to say. Other dads showered with gifts.
And how about you, Thick Rick?
And other dads forgot about.
You're a dad.
Yeah.
What happened to you?
Well, I was missing one kid who's dealing with COVID, unfortunately.
Yeah, that Rona. It's out there.
Damn it. That stuff. But my daughter, Danielle, brought over my 17-month-old granddaughter, Octavia, and we colored. Well, here's how it works with Octavia. I color a picture, and then she scribbles all over it. That's how that works. And that's fine with me. She loves it. So, my wife made beef bourguignon, which is incredible. Phenomenal meal. And I ate a lot of it. And, we watched the U.S. Open. It was nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
Lewis, what'd you do for Father's Day?
Absolutely nothing.
You didn't do anything with the dogs?
I mean, lounged around with them for a little bit. They were excited because their mom came home. She'd been gone for a week, so they don't love me as much. I mean, that's the story of my life, truly, but...
What about the 2 kiddos in your home?
Not acknowledged.
What?
It's okay.
They didn't acknowledge you?
No, they never do.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
You can't, you know what? I thought about this yesterday. I actually had this conversation with my stepdad yesterday because I had a good talk with him. I never had any kind of feelings about this, and I'm probably an a-hole for saying this, and I don't mean to be because it's not, but there was a post yesterday that I saw it in the morning and it drove me crazy. And it was somebody, and again, she gets 1,000% of the credit. She does. But there was a post that said, hey, take the day for you too, Lauren, because you're being mom and dad. And I know what the intent was, and the intent wasn't bad. But when I read it yesterday, I was like, what the hell have I been doing for the last 6 years of my life?
Yeah, you're absolutely father figuring this whole thing.
And it kind of sat with me wrong. I've never cared because I never walked into this expecting a thank you or expecting anything. I never did. And I still don't to an extent because I just know, I get it. But that yesterday just kind of made me...
Ooh, that hurts your feelings.
I'm not going to lie. It stung a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't expect them to acknowledge me in that way because I can't tell them how to feel, nor would I. But I must admit, yesterday was the first time in 6 years that I was like, And I said something to my stepdad who said, there's certain things in life that you don't do expecting any kind of glory or gratification for. And this is one of them. And I 1,000% agree with him. He's not wrong in any capacity. And again, the post wasn't wrong. But and again, she gets 1,000% of the credit. She has done a phenomenal job taking on 2 kids. I will never take that away from her. She has 100%. But at the same time, I'm like, I was kind of here too.
Yeah, you're doing it too.
I was helping. I'm not saying I did it all, but certainly did some.
And that's the thing, is that you're not expecting any type of return on your investment. Although on a day that's set aside to just say thank you, that does hurt.
And the post that you read was to Lauren. And they probably they know that you guys aren't married, so they just didn't think about it that way, I'm sure. I'm sure that the post to Lauren was no slight against you.
I don't think, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it was intended to be. But I was just kind of, the same post, the post it came from 2 weeks ago was saying, you guys did a phenomenal job. You guys have done a phenomenal job.
Oh, okay.
And then all of a sudden I was just like, and my fault, it was the first thing I saw at 8:20 in the morning yesterday, and I was just like, and it could have been coming off my Saturday night that I was already in a bad mood for. So it was just, that was the first thing I saw, and I was just like, yeah, okay.
Listen, I bet you are not alone in that whole feeling, like people who are serving as father figures, stepdads, etc. And the same thing I'm sure happened on Mother's Day, people serving and, it's stepmoms, and that's really difficult. It's a difficult position to be in, and I can imagine feeling just a little bit sensitive on that day.
And again, I know I don't have the right. I get that.
No, it's not about having a right. It's they're your feelings. You can't...
You have the right to those feelings.
Yeah. You're not demanding anything, but to say that you have some feelings about it is completely legitimate.
Yeah, that's... And again, like I said, first time in 6 years yesterday, I'm like, that one stung a bit.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Sean texted in, 99700, said, I feel that in my soul, Lewis. I'm a stepdad to 5 children. The 3 older ones never acknowledge me. Damn. Then Doug said, "Happy Father's Day, Lewis. You can be my daddy."
Oh.
Every day, Doug. Every day.
I was curious, dads out there, how did your family fail you yesterday?
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just want to do failings? That feels so sad. I'd like to hear some happy Father's Day stuff, too.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'd like to hear, good Father's Day things. Because, again, there are some dads that don't get acknowledged. And there are some moms that play both roles. I'm not saying what I said to take away from anybody's situation, because everyone's is different. But that one, for moms, some moms do play the role of, there are moms out there being mom and dad on the same day. 100%. But there are also some good dads who don't get recognized because either A, mom hates them and their good deeds go unnoticed, or B, a lot of times things just get expected of people. So, tell us about your Father's Day. 7:50 on the Morning Blitz with Five Finger Death Punch and Thick, Kelly, and Lewis talking about Father's Day yesterday. Was it good? Was it bad? Rick wants to hear your fails. Kelly wants some wins. I guess I'm in the middle. Tell me about both.
We'll take all your Father's Day stories, yes. Like, what'd you do yesterday?
Jeff's sister said, my sister got my dad a shirt that said, proud father of a few dumbass kids. He laughed his ass off and loved it. That's a nice shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then look what Jeff did.
What did Jeff do?
He said, I did painting on the roof he's been wanting done and was going to do himself. He was going to get his tall 62-year-old ass up there and do it. And I said, the F you are. Very tall and steep roof. He said it was sketchy, but got it done. Good on you, Jeff.
Nice.
That's a gift.
That is. Anytime you're doing some roofing. Chuck said he played golf with his dad. Got a call and a text from his adult children, then had to go get my own dinner at Wendy's.
Aw. Some good, some bad.
Hopefully you got that Baconator on Father's Day.
How about this? Goose said he had a Father's Day win. His foster kid for 2 years. He fostered a kid for 2 years, sent him a Happy Father's Day message. Now there's a grateful kid. Isn't that nice?
Garrett
That's
said
awesome.
He got a cool ice cream bowl and a spoon that came with it that looks like a shovel. That's cool.
Wait a minute. I need to know where you got that. I want a spoon that looks like a shovel.
Right? Mary said she wanted to give a shout out to all the step parents out there. Thank you for stepping up. And you're getting a lot of support, Lewis. People that can agree and are in the same boat as you, and people that say you're absolutely justified in your feelings.
Just feels kind of, I feel like a selfish a-hole even saying
Well,
it.
you're not, because, as much as you understand their situation and the fact that they've got, what those kids have brought into your home, yours and Lauren's home, was probably a lot of baggage, and a lot of stuff that these kids are dealing with. You understand all that. You see the situation exactly for what it is, but you can't help feeling a certain way when your contribution's dismissed.
And you can't tell people how to feel. You can't tell people how to react, but I'm going to use a WWE reference that Rick may not get and Kelly definitely won't get, but I wanted to come in when I made dinner last night, the family, and go, acknowledge me! Pull a Roman Reigns.
Right?
But I didn't.
Oh, my gosh.
Family at the dinner table. Acknowledge me.
I will say my bet is when the adult children in your home have their own kids, they will understand.
I have said
Oh,
this.
that's always the case, yeah.
When this whole thing started 6 years ago, I very much remember the conversation that I had with Lauren, and it was the night before her mom's funeral service, and it was just her and I at dinner at this little pub in Michigan, and I said, you're about to do something that will take you years to get any form of thank you for, and you're just going to have to accept that. Like, going into it, I'm like, there's going to come a time, it will be years from now, and you will hear the words you want to hear, but I don't know when that day is going to be, and I don't know how long it's going to take for that day to happen, kind of thing. So I should probably take my own advice, but like I said, yesterday, for whatever reason, was the first time that I was like, all right, this feels off.
Jeez.
Dominic said, took my pops to the air show. It's hot as
hell. Kyle said, I got finished in by a loser. Nothing like Mother's Day, glory robbing Father's Day, or something like that along those lines. It happens.
Yeah. All right. Where did it go? I lost it.
Oh, geez, poor Jason. His dog died on Saturday unexpectedly. His kids didn't call him yesterday. He said you should just forget that weekend altogether. I'm sorry, Jason.
I did hear my stepdad yesterday. He's like, well, at least you call me. He's like, your older stepbrother, I have to send him my own card, so he'll mail it back to me with the postage included.
Hey, Rocket had a big win. Listen to this. I got calls from all my kids. The wife and I jumped on our motorcycles and rode out around Mohican State Park. It was a great day. Oh, that's awesome.
Better than Mike's. He said, my girlfriend and I have been together a little over a year. Even though we don't have kids together, I got her flowers and made her dinner on Mother's Day. Then yesterday, in a plain tone, I asked what I was getting for my Father's Day dinner. And her response was, we don't have kids, so what makes you think you deserve Father's Day breakfast? So I had to fix my own breakfast, then got asked what I was fixing for dinner.
Well, my dog's got me a cool Star Wars card, and I appreciate that.
Aww.
They know me.
Very cool.
Troy said, Father's Day gets downplayed so much more than Mother's Day on so many fronts. For example, Mother's Day church sermon was about how great mothers are, and Father's Day is the 10th. Like how the Bible says you should treat your mom. Yesterday's sermon was how you should be a better father. Mother's Day is the second most celebrated holiday. Yeah, Father's is the 10th.
Yeah. Nobody cares about us.
Nope.
Wait, so they're saying at church they were just celebrating the moms, and then on Father's Day they were saying how you should be a better dad?
Yeah, pretty much. That is true. I do
That
remember
hurts.
the Mother's Day Mass was, far more significant than the Father's Day
Really
Mass.
cheerleading the moms.
Right.
You're getting upbraided.
In fact, if you think
as a
about
father.
it, Christmas, Easter, Mother's Day. Probably in that order.
Poor dads.
Shafted.
Poor Brian. Brian, I laid around bathed in aloe due to the terrible sunburn I received the day before taking my boys to the air show.
Aww.
Carrie said, kids
anything.
didn't fail me. They made me cards I loved, but I ended up having to work 13 hours. Yeah, that'll get you.
Well, I hope you all had a great Father's Day. If not, maybe
Next year.
Better luck
Next year.
Yeah. He's like a Browns fan.
And now, the 3 things you need to know before you go.
Court appearance today for a 23-year-old Columbus man charged with the murder of his 19-year-old pregnant girlfriend. Police called to a home on Park Wake Drive on the southwest side yesterday morning on a report of a domestic violence situation. When they arrived, they saw suspect 23-year-old Devin Blair running from the scene. Inside the home, they found 19-year-old Brooke Deviney suffering severe injuries from a physical assault. She and her unborn baby were pronounced dead about an hour later at the hospital. Blair arrested several hours later, charged with murder. No charges have been filed yet for the death of the baby. The first presidential debate is a week from Thursday, hosted by CNN's Jake Tapper and Dana Bash. Certain parameters have been agreed upon by the Biden and Trump campaigns. The debate will be 90 minutes. It will include 2 commercial breaks, and campaign staff may not interact with their candidate during that time.
Commercial breaks.
Yep.
Okay.
Both Trump and Biden have agreed to appear at a uniform podium, and their podium positions will be determined by a coin flip. Microphones will be muted throughout the debate except for the candidate whose turn it is to speak. So there'll be no interrupting. No props, no pre-written notes will be allowed on the stage, but the candidates will be given a pen, a pad of paper, and a bottle of water. There will be no studio audience. And them's the rules, baby.
Wow.
A week
I
from Thursday.
love the mute.
Yeah.
Because the last few the debates 4 years ago were painful.
Yeah.
Because they could not stop talking over each other.
Well, hell, just the Republican primaries a year ago.
That one too. Yeah, same way.
So that no like 3x5 cards with
Nothing.
nothing.
Nope.
Okay.
Blank pad of paper, a pen, and a bottle of water. That's the only things that could be on
Wow.
this. Yep,
All
on
right,
the
this is
podium
going
for
to
them.
be
Cracking down.
This might be entertaining.
Well, listen, this is so wild, you guys. A Southwest Airlines pilot inadvertently sent a Boeing 737 MAX 8 into a plunge off the coast of Hawaii, dropping from an altitude of 1,000 feet to 400 feet above the water in a few seconds. The flight crew was able to pull the plane up in the nick of time, and it did land safely in Honolulu. No injuries reported. So this happened in April, and it has not been previously reported until now. Apparently, the pilot had the less experienced first officer in control of the plane at the time of the incident. It was bad weather. They were supposed to land on Kauai. They had to, they couldn't land in Kauai, so they had to land in Honolulu. And at some point there, this first officer took over and sent this bad boy like just dropping out of the sky. Till the nick of time, they were able to pull it right back up and land. I mean, they are so lucky here.
Wow.
So the FAA is investigating. No idea. But it just is wild that you just don't know what's happening in the cockpit when you're a passenger.
Right.
You don't know. Is the guy that just graduated yesterday, like they're just handing over the controls? Is that what happens? Ugh. It freaks me out, people. All right, those are your three things.
8:10 on your Morning Blitz. Thick, Kelly, and Lewis. And if you have not heard, I know Thick mentioned it earlier, you can join the Blitz and Buckeye City Motorsports Friday, July 26th for our annual Christmas in July toy drive benefiting Nationwide Children's Hospital. It's going to be fun. We'll be live right outside the studios here on Dublin Road from 6 to 10.
It's truly like one of the best days of the year here at the Blitz, I think. It's just incredible.
For sure.
And you can donate online. The link is give.nationwidechildrens.org/theblitz997.
You all right?
I moved my mic and it hit my laptop.
Okay.
Sorry.
If you want to make a direct cash donation, you can text Blitz Kids, one word, Blitz Kids, to 51555.
We would prefer it if you swung by the station and saw us in person, though.
Yeah, we need lunch money.
No.
I mean, we need cash money for toys.
But we take all new unwrapped toys and things, and you can go to theblitz.com for the Amazon wishlist link for items, but things like Uno or regular playing cards, Squishmallows, crayons, Play-Doh, sticker books, paint by numbers, puppets, fidget spinners, anything like that.
Then you'd be surprised like how many, every situation is different, but there are a lot of kids that just, it's not that their parents want them to go without, it's their parents have to have them go without, so it's always cool to see the smile on a kid's face when they get something new.
Yep.
And again, every kid's different, so one kid might love a stack of Uno cards, the other kid might like a Hot Wheel toy.
Stay away from metal. Like if you they love composition notebooks. Like the teenagers, no staples, no spirals, things like that. Stay away from that kind of stuff.
No power tools.
Yeah, it is all powered by Buckeye City Motorsports, Logan AC and Heat Services, Window Nation, and of course your rock station 99.7 The Blitz. Again, all the details over at theblitz.com. All right, Stone Temple Pilots coming to the Ohio State Fair with Soul Asylum. That show is Friday, July 26th. You can get tickets at Ticketmaster, but we got them to give away. And these are tickets in the first 5 rows. All right? You're going to get up close and personal. Today we are giving away row 3. That's what popped up here. I got 3rd row tickets for this show. This is going to be awesome, man. And if you want to win those, you need to listen for Filter, Hey Man, Nice Shot. When you hear Hey Man, Nice Shot by Filter, just be caller number 9 at 1-800-821-9970. That will happen before 9 o'clock. When you hear Filter, Hey Man, Nice Shot, call us up, 1-800-821-9970. And caller 9, you will get 3rd row seats.
8:23 on the Morning Blitz with Thick, Kelly, and Lewis. Good morning.
What up?
Oh, what's up with you?
Just looking at the most millionaires.
Okay.
Yeah, they did a poll of 10,000 people with at least $1 million. There's 10,000 people with $1 million in America.
Wow.
Well, $1 million isn't that much anymore once you get close to retirement. And it's like net worth. So it includes, your house, whatever you got, everything. First off, they found the top way to achieve $1 million is to invest in 401k and buy a house. Obviously, you need to be making money to do that. What do you guys think? We're talking about the 5 jobs with the most millionaires. All right. Not necessarily the richest people, but the 5 careers that have produced the most millionaires in the United States.
IT.
Well, engineers on the list, so I guess computer science engineer would count. I always say, man, if you were going to go to college, whether it's computer science, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, you only need a 4-year degree and you will have a great career. So engineering is a great path.
Yeah.
Accountant, another one. people in management, lawyer, and the fifth one is the one that I did not expect to see on the list, which is teacher.
They say there's still a shortage in teachers.
Yeah. I mean, doctor came in sixth. Now that has a lot to do with, I'm sure how you save your money and what you invest your money in. And
I mean, a tenured teacher, you're getting regular increases thanks to your union. You're getting, you can end up being paid very well as a teacher.
Yeah, it depends on what you do, where
in.
you go, what school you're at.
Right, yeah, your district and all that.
I mean, doctors, you eventually make money, but a lot of people don't realize that the first few years of being a doctor, you have a lot of med school bills, and you got to work a lot before you get to the point where you're really making some coin.
Well, the other thing about it is, this is funny, it says doctors make a lot of money, but they spend a lot. The poll found that doctors are not great in general at managing their money. So they're just like, they're making all this money, but they're just out there blowing it.
Okay.
That's funny. But the interesting thing about the fact that the teacher is on the list of, the top 5 careers that produce millionaires is that 66% of American teachers say their base salary is incredibly inadequate. And they even have a number. Teachers believe a $17,000 raise would bring their income up to a reasonable amount.
Okay.
Yeah, teachers, what do you start out at? Anybody who's a teacher listening,
I think
text at 99700. I know it does depend on the district and whether you're teaching
Sure.
public or private. I mean, there's such probably a wide variance of starting salaries, but it's public information.
Yeah.
If you a public school teacher salary, and I remember looking at it at one point when we lived in Westerville. This was a while ago, and seeing that one of the kindergarten teachers who had been around for a long time at that time was making, I think, $105,000 a year. This was probably 10 years ago, and I thought, well, that's a decent
Damn
salary.
good money, yeah.
It's Westerville. It's a
Sure.
good school system, and she had been there forever. And I'm sure had gotten very nice incremental raises and things like that. But I'd love to know what a starting salary is for a teacher.
I want to know, is there a huge difference in income based on grade? Like teaching second grade compared to 11th grade? I wonder what kind of change you got there.
Stephanie said that she started out at $28K, roughly 10
okay.
years ago.
Okay.
Someone else just sent in and said $34,000. Doug, of course, an OnlyFans teacher makes a lot more.
Yes,
Not
that's
wrong,
right.
Doug. Not wrong at all.
Right.
Stephanie says teachers are also used to making money stretch.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I feel like, 28,000 10 years ago. Okay, 34. Say you start out 34K. That seems pretty low.
I was
for a
thinking
teacher.
somewhere between, not for me. I was thinking because of the school systems, a lot of them are strapped for cash right now. I was saying somewhere around 35 is what I had in my head.
Okay.
And then again, because you're getting summers off, they prorate for that. A lot of teachers pick up side hustles.
Right.
So,
I guess
some
in an
side
ideal-
hustles are more lucrative than others.
In an ideal world, you would go to school to become a teacher, not only because you love kids and want to teach, but because it will offer you a nice, way of life or something, or nice living. And that isn't necessary. That isn't the case, really, when you start out.
Right. For sure. College professors tend to make more.
That's what my daughter Lanessa's trying to do. She already got a master's degree. She's down at Alabama to get her doctorate in composition rhetoric because she wants to be a college professor. It's like you got to go to school forever, man. But while she's also doing this, she's also teaching a couple college classes, so she's already doing that. But I'm very proud of her. That's a lot of college, man.
The argument for years has been we need more teachers. Well, then pay them better.
Yeah, and I mean, when you hear that teacher starting out at 28,000, that's
10 years ago.
10 years ago, 34,000. We just saw. How quick do you work your way up from that? I mean, how long does it take to get to that $105,000 a year you were talking about, Kelly? So, yeah, I just thought it was very interesting that they're one of the careers that produce the most millionaires. Maybe they're just smart with their money and everything because they're teachers. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's tough to know what your teacher's retirement system that you're in and what that provides you in terms of I don't know. You said it's overall net worth. So does that include that maybe your health care is paid for?
Well, just whatever
included in your net worth.
what you possess.
If you're working for a public school, that's government insurance.
Right.
So you'll
like
get
even post-retirement.
I don't know.
There's teacher pensions.
Yeah, there's teacher pensions.
That includes health care?
Yes.
Wow. Nice.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
at least
'cause
a portion of it paid.
Yeah, if you're working for a public school system, I believe that makes you a public servant.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know, but I know that Lauren's mom worked for the school system, and when she was alive, and they had fantastic insurance. So that does hold up. My wife he has her master's in education from Ohio State, started off in Palm Beach, Florida at $45K. Summers off for teachers in 3 months, off work 34 a year over 9 months. If you did 12 months, that's $45K.
All right.
John says the cost of school teachers based on longevity in education. So if they have a doctorate, they can make $100K a year and more. While teaching elementary kids, second grade, those kids turn out the same as all the rest. So,
all right. Well, there you go. Being a teacher, not such a bad idea.
Filter. Hey man, nice shot. 8:40. It's the Morning Blitz. That's Thick Rick. She's Kelly Quinn. I'm Lewis. And we got ourselves a winner.
Jamie Bias of the MF and Biases.
Nice job. Congrats. Jamie and Sean Bias. Quality individuals.
I know.
All the way around.
But Jamie's like, well, wait a minute, but I'm in the running for these incarceration tickets. What if they draw my name? I'd rather have those. And I'm like, well, I mean, you can win once every 30 days. We had Natasha was before her who had just won Tesla tickets. And I'm like, I can't even enter that in, and I love it. I was the biggest prize pig listening to radio.
Never was.
Oh my gosh, I used to call 92X every friggin' day trying to win stuff.
Never did. Kelly, were you a radio caller?
I wasn't. I won the Tramps album from WNCI when I was 12 years old with Disco Inferno on it. I was so excited. I didn't know even anything about the band. I liked the song Disco Inferno, but going to the radio station to pick up my album was the most thrilling experience of my 12 years on Earth.
Do they still give away Tramps? I'd like to win one of those.
Jeez.
No?
I don't think they give those away.
Oh.
But
I was excited for a second.
When I eventually got a job at 92X, their promotions director, Colleen, said to me, oh, well, good. Now you can stop winning all my contests.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, man, you give stuff away. I try to win it. So, but no, and I love that people try to do that here. And Jamie Bias got herself tickets in the third row to see STP.
Who are you taking, Jamie? Well, I mean, I hope it's Sean. I hope it just didn't get awkward. Kidding.
Jeez.
Kidding.
So check this out, you guys. I don't know how I feel about this. There's a Chik Fil-a location in Louisiana, and they're hosting summer camp for preteens between the ages of 5 and 12.
Okay.
Where they will teach them how to work at Chik Fil-a. Customer service skills, dining room hosting, learning how to take a guest order at the register, bagging orders, touring the kitchen, preparing chicken nuggets.
So it's just child labor?
Well,
but they call it camp?
Yeah. Serving ice cream in a cone or a cup, and how to be a Chick-fil-A mascot even.
Weren't you excited, though, as a kid to, cook and learn? So for a kid, that might be exciting. For us, we think it's like hell on earth.
Listen, if you told me I could do summer camp at Dairy Queen, even today, I would be excied.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the one thing about Chick-fil-A. You're never working on Sunday. No camp on Sunday.
Very true. Very true.
Now, they charge $35 per day, and that also includes a meal, a snack, a T-shirt, and a name tag. It's not a national program, but you'll see they'll see how a local franchise would want to give, like
that's
you're talking
what all
about
5-year-olds want. They want to know how a franchise works.
Well, I mean, no, how they want to give some fun to young Chick-fil-A fans. They give them they get a little special access, and then maybe teach them a little work ethic and responsibility.
Dad, I'd really love to learn how a franchise works. I know I'm just going into first grade, but if you could arrange something for me this summer.
It's all how you present that, too. Because if you said to 11-year-old me, hey, we're sending you to Chick Camp, I go, this is the greatest day of my life. And then I get there, by Chick Camp, you mean Chick-fil-A camp.
But then you're still excited, right? I mean, Chik Fil-A, yum.
Yeah, I mean, I guess back then, girls eating yourself stupid, one was just as good as the other.
So they're not, they're not, actually making kids work, But I can also see how it comes off maybe as exploitative or just cringy.
Yeah,
child labory.
Did you guys ever go to summer camp as a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to church camp.
I did church camp.
I went to Kelly's Island, Camp Patmos. Oh, my gosh. We had a blast.
Yep, that was one thing we could not wait to get to 6th grade in Hilliard because that meant it was the year we got to go to Camp Wilson.
Okay. What'd you do at camp?
Everything. Well, it's funny, and I think we talked about this before. One of the things they did there was they encouraged not wasting food. Mm-hmm. So whatever table you were sitting at, whatever didn't get eaten was weighed.
Oh, wow.
And then at the end of the week, you sat at the same table for every meal, the same people. And at the end of the week, whichever table had the least waste, they won. I can't remember what the prize was.
I feel like I know how the story ends. Were you a human garbage?
I made sure we didn't waste anything.
Yeah. So it all went to you, and you're like, I'll eat it,
well,
baby.
Here was the thing. And the food was awesome, but you could say, can we get some more of this, or can we get some more of that? And they'd bring out a plate of, like, if you want, like, it was breakfast, right? And they're like, hey, we could use some more scrambled eggs. They'd bring out a bowl of scrambled eggs, like a large bowl for everybody, like a serving for everyone. So you had to finish it, or it was going to get weighed and wasted, So that was one of my favorite parts of the whole damn camp. And this was 3 times a day we did this, and it was all you could eat.
My first summer camp experience, I didn't even know I was going to summer camp.
Aw.
My mom packed my bags and dropped me off at a 2-week camp.
And that was it? No warning?
No warning.
Have fun, kid. Kicked you out of the car and sped away.
Now that you mention it, yeah, pretty much. But
it's kind of like how she did your dog, right?
I should have seen that
yeah,
coming.
Kicked it out and drove away.
But I had. So this is what prison was like, and I learned about it at 9. Cool. So this was that was my first summer camp experience, but I liked it so much I asked to go back. And the next year is where I tore my eye open and almost lost my right eye.
Dang, dude.
Wow.
Well, how'd you tear your eye open?
So if you can probably see the scar, which is why I'm missing part of my eyebrow. I don't do the vanilla ice thing. I don't do the I'm going to shave my eyebrow because it's cool. No, that's not how that happened. We got to summer camp, and you had to, the way this summer camp worked, they dropped everybody off, but you had to wait till all the different camp groups got there because it was one giant summer camp. So they wouldn't let us swim. It was a hot day, wouldn't let us swim until everybody got there so they could organize everything. So a bunch of us decided we were going to go have water fights in the bathroom, which is what we did because they had showers in the bathroom, but they had the concrete, school concrete steps.
No.
So I was jumping up on a bench, the shower bench, to throw water into the stall next to me. And when I jumped down, I slipped and fell. And because there was so much water, I didn't know I was bleeding until we got out of the shower and people were looking at me going, dude, you're bleeding. And I looked in the mirror and my whole eye is bleeding. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. So they had to call my parents and they had to take me to the hospital. And I learned about how when the doctor says you're going to feel a pinch when they stick the Novocaine needle in your eye. Yeah, that's a lie. That's a major lie that's perpetrated to children everywhere. So they stitched it in, but I was another quarter of an inch, I'd have lost my eye.
Ugh.
But you were probably like the cool kid then the rest of camp, right?
I couldn't swim
because
I had stitches, so I couldn't swim. I had to stay above waist level in the water. So but I did have the cool after that I had a scar. So I told everybody it was a gang fight after that.
Nice.
But
Nice.
Stretch the story just a little. Exaggeration here and there. But yeah.
Doug said he was playing grab ass in the shower.
No. Doug, at that age, I wasn't really sure what grab ass was. I was still into toys and, having fun. I didn't care about girls at 9. I was 10 before that happened.
You got started late in life, huh?
Right, exactly.
Well, anyway, this Chik Fil-A camp must be popular. It's going on next month, and it's completely sold out. So,
do you think we could go?
I don't know. Max said, well, that's the future for most of those kids. Better start early.
They're Lincoln Park. It's the Morning Blitz. Thick, Kelly, and Lewis. Manna said, dude, your mom is savage. Did she do that with your dog? She did. I was telling Kelly, I didn't realize my parents could drive that fast until they dropped me off.
Fishtailed their way right out of the parking lot of camp.
I feel like I was the last kid picked up, too.
Like 2 days late. You're just sitting on the corner there, sitting on top of your suitcase.
Right.
Looking at your watch.
Counselor's like, dude, we really need to go. Are your parents coming? Yeah, they said they'd be here.
Parents getting called. They're calling us and telling us to come get him. I guess we got to go get him.
All right.
Jeez.
Thought he was just supposed to fight his way back.
So I found out what strain my plants are.
Oh, your pot?
Yep. My 3-foot tall 2 plants that my buddy Big Meech gave me. He texted me. He goes, they're Mexican haze, dude. I'm like, yes, they are. So I was looking up the Mexican haze, and it's a sativa dominant strain.
Why does it have to be Mexican haze? Why can't it just be haze?
I don't know. That's just what it's called, man. It's listed on a ton of websites and dispensaries. It's
Why do we have to classify everything?
So you know what it is. It's a sativa dominant strain from a cross between Acapulco Gold, Haze, and Jack Herer. 23%.
I bet you called COVID the Wuhan virus, didn't you?
Why? Why? No, I don't. I don't know that I would
classify everything. Can't just be.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Anyway, 23% THC, 70% sativa. So yeah, again, sativa dominant. It's a dazzling hybrid that offers spicy flavors and electrifying effects. Reduces symptoms of anxiety and depression, while is exceptionally energizing and uplifting.
Well, that sounds like a good strain. Energizing and uplifting. I have never heard of weed energizing someone.
Oh, really?
Never.
Okay, so so you basically got 3. You got your indica, your sativa, and your hybrid, which is a mix of both. Sativa, yes, uplifting, whereas the indica, as we call it, indicouch, that's what you want to take if you want to just be out of it, sleep really good. That's the way to go with the indica. But sativa, you can smoke that and you get up and clean the house. More focused.
So
more
what
alert.
do you have? Sativa?
Sativa, yeah. I like being uplifted. I don't want to be laying on the couch. Now, if you're having a rough day and you're just trying to get some rest, that's a good thing to have. But yeah, so Mexican haze, currently growing in my backyard.
Had that once in Tijuana.
Yeah? Was that marijuana, though?
I don't know.
Was there a donkey show with it?
I was waiting for my parents to come get me.
How long did that one take?
Days.
And now, all right, I'm listening. 3 things you need to know before you go.
Well, another super load is headed from southern Ohio, eventually to the Intel site in New Albany. Please don't disappoint me. My resident 12-year-old boys.
Tried so hard.
Just immediate big grins on both of our faces.
God, look.
The huge load is being pulled through Portsmouth today on its way to the Intel site, New Albany. By Thursday, it's expected to be close to or at Rickenbacker. And then by next Tuesday, it'll reach the Intel site. The super load contains an air processor known as a cold box. It is 23 feet tall, 20 feet wide, and nearly a football field long. It will take 9 days to make its way north. It's the 12th of nearly 24 super loads along Ohio roadways.
I hate a cold box.
Does all of this find its way to a hub? Just asking for a friend.
You guys need your inhalers over there trying to...
Maybe.
Okay. If you are planning to vacation in the Greek islands, a shocking number of people have either died or gone missing in the past 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh, what?
The body of an American tourist was found yesterday on a fairly remote beach on the tiny island of Mathraki. He was reported missing by his host several days before. On Saturday, a 74-year-old Dutch tourist was found dead in a ravine. On Friday, 2 female tourists from France, ages 64 and 73, were reported missing on Cyclades Island, and they have still not been found. Then on the island of Amorgos, they're still searching for a 59-year-old California man who was reported missing this past Tuesday. A little over a week ago, a British TV host named Dr. Michael Mosley was found dead on the island of Sini. A number of dead and missing had gone on hikes during high temperatures, apparently, and I guess that's what we're assuming is happening to all these people. But we're talking a good 8 people now dead or missing in the past 2 weeks in the Greek islands.
Stroke?
Now listen, yeah, maybe. There are more than 200 inhabited Greek islands, so I mean this may be just run of the mill week for them.
I'd like to look at the past 10 years.
Yeah, it's pretty weird to hear about. A scientist is claiming that using Listerine Cool Mint every day could increase your risk of developing esophageal and colorectal cancers. Experts from the Institute of Tropical Medicine in Antwerp, Belgium, found that 2 species of bacteria were more prevalent after 3 months of daily mouthwash use. Both species have been linked to these 2 types of cancers and were more abundant in the mouth after daily usage. So it's believed that the alcohol in the mouthwash may increase the level of bacteria inside the mouth. So while the experiment only included Listerine Cool Mint, scientists say that similar levels of bacteria would likely be found with other alcohol-based mouthwashes. So you're being advised to find a mouthwash that does not have alcohol in it. So that's wild. You know, we're talking about the massive increase in colorectal cancer among younger people.
Right.
And the fact that these types of bacteria that cause colorectal cancer are found in the mouth of people who use daily mouthwash. I mean, it's wild, guys. It's just like I said, it's one study. It's a small study. I think they used maybe 6 people in the study, but pretty wild, eh?
I was just looking. I was trying to find out if mine has it or not. It's I used the TheraBreath.
TheraBreath?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out if it has it or not. Alcohol free.
All right, so you're doing great.
Yeah.
What does your let's see, you have daily doses, Lewis, of
Tussin.
Is that alcohol free?
I don't know. I've never really looked up the honey Robitussin.
And what about your mouthwash? What do you use?
Listerine.
Okay, so you do have an alcohol base.
Yep.
All right, well, just
I like my booze and my Tussin together.
Yeah. I need to know what the Robitussin ingredients are. Well, I don't know. You do your own.
Robitussin with honey was recalled due to a microbial contamination. This is when unwanted bacteria start to grow in the medication, food, or other product. Oh, that's nice to know.
Mm-hmm. Crest Pro Health mouthwash has no alcohol. You want to know? That's that's a popular one.
All right. So there you go. If you like using mouthwash, check for one without alcohol in the ingredients. And those are your 3 things.